Hey Questers, and welcome to another episode of BMF, the unofficial home for all things Oculus Quest. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this video. Today I'm finally going to talk about the Virtual Rifle Systems Mark II VR gun stock for the Quest. Before we get into it, I just want to thank the creator of the Mark II for sending it to me to check out. I put this thing through the ringer, and I have been testing it for a while because I really wanted to get a feel for it before I decided whether I could recommend it or not. I'm going to try to cover everything and answer all the questions that I saw, but if I happen to miss anything, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have. So now, let's jump right into the review. Alright, so here is the Mark II Alpha. Right off the bat, this thing looks incredible and it handles and feels great. It has a little body to it, so it feels like you're holding an actual rifle, but it's not overly heavy. This stock is constructed using 3D printing and it has a lot of different adjustment points, which I'll get into in just a second. You can order different barrel or sight accessories which don't have any practical function, but they do look awesome. The sight's attached using magnets and the barrel just slides into place. The company actually recommends using a sling and I totally agree. This stock uses push-button swivel connections to attach the sling. The original picture I shared actually had the sling attached using the 2-point method, but I ended up switching it to 1 point because it was easier to use and the strap actually caused a lot of tracking issues, surprisingly. When it comes to comfort adjustments, this thing has quite a few. You can easily adjust the offhand magnetic controller base by just sliding the lock over and positioning it where it is comfortable for you. There's also a cheek height adjustment that uses springs to allow you to get the perfect height, as well as the ability to move the butt of the rifle up and down and adjust the shoulder slide back and forth. I was very happy with the level of adjustments it gives you, so I could get it just right. Unlike some other gun stocks for the Quest, I didn't struggle to get it adjusted, and I didn't keep smashing the headset on the stock when I went to look down the sights. The touch controller is attached to the stock using magnets, much like many other VR stocks out there, but I actually prefer how this stock works, and I much prefer the under-mounted controllers. The stock comes with 2 attachments that you add to your controllers that clamp onto the rings and use Allen screws to tighten on. One thing I would really like to see in the future update is for this stock to maybe have a toolless system that allows you to put the attachments on the controllers a little faster. It's not like it takes forever as it's really just one screw, but it would just be easier not to have to make sure you have the Allen wrench handy. Another thing that people had mentioned and were worried about is the weight on the touch controller rings. And after doing a ton of testing and using the stock for the past few weeks, I can say that I didn't have any issues. I whipped around, spun and jerked the gun up and down and back and forth, and I have not had any problems with the rings at all. Speaking of the controllers, another thing that was brought up was the issue of occlusion and whether having the controllers undermounted would cause the Quest to lose tracking. I was actually very impressed by how well the Quest did when it came to tracking the controllers. There were a couple of times when I would turn my head one way and swing my gun the other that the tracking would jump for a second, but overall I would say at least 98% of the time everything was perfect. And even when it had momentary issues, it would snap back immediately. I think what Oculus did recently with the updated tracking has made a big difference, as the Quest can calculate the position of the controllers based on less data. So I think that this makes it work very well. Over the course of my testing, I would end up on the floor trying to get out of the way of bullets or kneeling to hide behind something, and the tracking just worked the way it was supposed to. Reloading the gun is easy with the magnetic connections, and I like how they click and slide into place. As far as I'm concerned, the magnets are just strong enough to hold everything in place, but not so strong that you feel like you're going to rip the ring off the controller to get it to separate. Overall, my thoughts on the Virtual Rifle System Mark II are very positive. Most of my testing was done in Pavlov on the Quest, as well as a few tests on some PC VR games streaming from my PC. I wanted to stick more with just native Quest though, because then I don't have to worry about any kind of latency issues or worry about the tracking having to travel to the PC and have it affect the testing. I really like the product, and I think it works very well as a VR stock for the Quest. The price may be a little steep for some people, as the base price without a sling, sight, or extra barrel aside from the Blaze Orange one it comes with is $115 pre-shipping. But if you're looking for an awesome looking and feeling stock for your Quest, this one is both. I think my favorite part about the stock when compared to others is that it actually feels much closer to using a real rifle. So just to recap, it functions well and it doesn't suffer from losing tracking unless you really try to get it to lose tracking, and even then it snaps back quickly. Clamping onto the rings has not been an issue, and neither has the weight of the rifle, and it looks and feels awesome. If you want to check it out, I will leave a link to the site in the description. If you want to get the most out of your Quest and the best bang for your buck, then subscribe to BMF for more Quest related content and hit that bell icon. Plus, if you're looking for more Quest content, you can check out my other videos here. Thanks so much for watching, and happy questing.